Alright, timestamp. It is June 30th, 2026. My voice is really messed up today. About 3:30 p.m. Had to wait for the dog to move. Health check. I feel actually really good, except I feel kind of like the back of the sinus area, like behind the nose. Just kind of like, I don't know. It's definitely affecting my voice and vocal quality. A lot of errands today. Mortgage payment out, which I think I'm like, I only have one mortgage payment to go. Like, I'm about to pay off my house, which is pretty cool. Stopped at Aldi, and I picked up vanilla because, gotta do that, and picked up Adventure Blend. I don't know, but we are about to go on an adventure, apparently. Hints of chocolate and red fruits, this slightly nutty coffee, well-rounded flavor profile. It's a medium, which is good. I don't really like dark coffee as much. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Rich and smooth. What are we feeling like? Let's use one of our new ones. My new Marvin mugs. Yeah. Yep. Very basic Aldi grab. Picked up some coffee and some eggs. The Asian sesame chicken yesterday was a success. Hicks liked it, I liked it. Both my piranha liked it. But it is gone. Hi, Queenie. Make up your mind, hon. No, really. Asking nicely. No problem, I'll walk right in. Went to a Dollar Tree. Stocked up on some snackage. You really just can't beat that. Some cheese popcorn. Some cookies. You know, the important things. Figured we could spend $20, you know. Because you can usually afford $20 to put some smiles on a couple of faces for a minute, you know. Usually. And there have been places where you can't, but the second we can. It has been raining, I don't want to say violently, but it's been, I walked through some parking lots and was soaked by the time I got to the door, you know. It's a very wet, thundery day. Queenie, what is it? You are psychotic right now. What's going on? Working on my to-do list for when I do get up, because I'm going to be, I didn't sleep well. I woke up, like sprang awake at like 3 a.m. A lot of dad dreams. I don't remember specifics on them. I just remember he was kind of the focal point, the star of the show. That worries me. And I mean, he's always on my mind, so that's not really like landmark, but he doesn't normally invade my dreams, you know. The past couple nights, though, I don't know. Alright, Adventure Blend. Oh, yeah. This is another one of those kind of two-tone, like three-tone with like where the lip, I don't know, is a different color. Got the purple on the outside, yellow with the green in the middle. Three of my favorite colors, actually. But I've got the Bugs Bunny one that's similar. It's got like several different poses, very different. Okay. Not bad. Wouldn't be my go-to coffee, but yeah, I like it. It's got a sweet quality that's nice. You can kind of taste the chocolate and the little hint of fruitiness kind of thing going on there. Almost has like a pomegranate thing going on. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm content with my purchase. Yeah, I like that. And the vanilla, I mean, it's always a safe bet. Everybody likes it. But yeah, I had an interesting discussion with one of the tellers at the bank. I had to do some stuff for my dad. Wasn't expecting. They kind of know what's going on. My parents have been going to that bank for 10 years plus. They know the whole story. There was a while, a year plus ago, where they were looking at me. Some of them were, not all of them. There were a couple that were kind of eyeing me suspiciously because I think my parents had kind of poisoned them with the idea of, we were breaking into their house and all that kind of stuff. But as things have unfolded, they've begun to realize, everybody has begun to realize, oh, okay. Dementia, you didn't do that. Gotcha. When the state starts handing over guardianship, people tend to go, oh, okay. Okay. The crazy person was telling me what they wanted to, okay, sure, got it, all right. But yeah, we'll call him Jason. He's been helping me, one of the main tellers there. And he was like, how's your dad? And I'm like, same. He hasn't gotten worse, but same. And I'm like, it's probably out of left field, but, it's kind of like Hairspray, Welcome to the 60s, and his eyes lit up and he's like, did you just make a Hairspray reference? I'm like, yes, I did. And he was like, my God, I love that show. I would love to do that show. I haven't done that show. I'm like, I haven't done that show either, but I've seen like 5 different casts do that show. You're into that sort of thing? And he was like, oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge musical theater fan. I'm like, going to or performing in? He's like, yes. I was like, no shit, really? He's probably in his mid to late 20s, maybe. And he's like, my first show, I've been doing it for a while. My first show was, I was a junior in high school. And we did Next to Normal. And I'm like, and then if you don't know Next to Normal, I want to say there's cast is like 7 people, and 4 of them are very meaty parts. It's basically a nuclear family: mom, dad, son, daughter. Um, and all 4 of them they carry some weight. The mom is probably the beefiest. Mom and dad are like, and I want to play the dad, Dan. Um, but talking to Jason, I'm like, okay, you did Next to Normal as your first show. And I was like, Gabe? And he was like, yeah. I was like, Gabe is the teenage son. And I don't want to give anything away in case you haven't seen it. The entire show revolves around the mom's mental illness. It's a really heavy show, and it's sad, and it's also hilarious because crazy people are funny. But no, there's a lot of funny stuff in there, and it's a seriously challenging rock musical. And I was like, okay, so you played. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and ask, did you suck or were you really good? And he's like, it's really good. I actually won an award. I was like, okay, your first musical, you played Gabe in Next to Normal, which probably wouldn't be considered the lead, but it's, pretty serious. That's like a 3rd or 4th billing character in a really complicated, difficult musical. Okay, you've clearly got some skills. And he's like, I'm decent. He's like, okay. I did not know that about you. You just got like an extra bonus 20 points in my book. I did not know that about you. I mean, I thought you were a pretty decent kid, but you just went from here to here. And Gabe? Holy cats. That's a complicated part. He's like, yeah, it was a blast. He's like, I did Seussical not too long ago. I was like, okay. He's like, what kind of shows? What are the last 2 shows you did? I said, did the Rocky Horror Show and Rent. Were the last 2 shows that I, not counting the improv stuff. And he was like, okay. He's like, Rocky Horror, that's popular. What part? I'm like, Frankenfurter. He's like, okay, you're blowing my mind right now. And I know Rent pretty well. What? I said, I was Collins. And he's like, oh, you got to do the eulogy song. Whoa, okay. That's heavy. He was like, how was that? I'm like, it was hilarious, painful, cathartic, and I would do the show again next week if the opportunity sprang up. Because it was incredibly fun and powerful. It was one of those shows that when you perform it, the audience already kind of can have a transformative experience. As an actor, it was kind of transformative too. It pushed me in a lot of ways too. First time I ever kissed a boy. True story. That was an interesting rehearsal. Because our angel went for it. And I was kind of half expecting it, half not. It was that whole, we're getting closer to the show, so they were like, you need to get used to the idea of actually doing that. And it was like, okay, cool, yeah, I get it, it's cool. I've never kissed a boy, it's not I kissed a boy and I liked it, or, that kind of thing. I'm straight, never had the inclination, but I'm an actor. And, our angel, during one of the rehearsals, during the scene where you kiss, he just went for it. I was like, whoa. It not like, I threw the scene because I was like awkward or anything, but it was kind of like during it was very much a, oh shit, we're doing this. If you've ever been like ambush kissed on a date or something, it's a very similar feeling, kind of like, oh, we're engaging in physical contact. Okay, um, surprise. And then it became, because we were very good friends already, so it wasn't like incredibly awkward, like complete stranger. We were we worked really well together on stage. We'd done stuff together on stage, not like that though. But yeah, it was kind of a, okay, this is just what we do. Okay, cool. You know, but I know we sold it to the audience because we had people. When you do a show like Rent, people that are fans of the show will come from miles around that don't even know who the hell you are. And we had full houses, little black box theater, 50 seats. We had full houses, like just about every show. Because I think we did like 7 or 8, and I think for like 5 or 6 of them we were full. Like, no seats available. Actually turned some people away one night. But we had quite a few people come up to us after the show because smaller theater, you hob, you knob with the audience after the show. It's a good time. And I had several audience members various nights, every night, kind of come up to me and go, "You had me crying during the eulogy. You really sold it. I believed you. I believed the two of you were a thing." That's always cool. Man, there was nothing better than um, singing that and hearing someone or multiple people in the audience do that. Keeps me in the zone, and also as a performer, I'm inside going, you know, because I know that I successfully took your hand and took you on a story. You went with me on the journey, and that's cool. There's nothing cooler. But yeah, Gabe, first time out as a junior in high school, it's like, oh my god. Oh my god. And he was like, "So you know the show? Have you done the show?" And I'm like, "No, I wanna. I would love to play Dan." And he was like, "You'd be a good Dan. I could tell you'd be a really good Dan." I'm like, the past 3 years, obviously you know the song because it's like the opening number, but I'm pretty much living on a latte and a prayer. And he started laughing. He's like, "That is such a great opening song, and I still love that song. It's such a cool ensemble piece." And the girl down the way was like, "What song is that?" I said, "No, it's just Another Day." And she was like, "Yeah, but no, what? Oh, that's the name of the song, isn't it?" And of course, Jason and I were giggling about that because, yeah, it's the name of the song. But yeah, no, Gabe has a lot of singing to do. I'm trying to think if Gabe has any solos. There's a lot of duets and trios and stuff like that because the whole family interacts a lot throughout the show. Superboy and the Invisible Girl, that's kind of a duet with his sister. He's got a couple of smaller solos. There's nobody in the family because the 4 main characters are the family. The fifth and sixth characters are the daughter's boyfriend question mark and the shrink. He's a rock star. There's because there's okay, so at one point Dan takes Diane, his wife, to one of the doctors, and in him trying to persuade her that it's going to be okay, she's been to a lot of shrinks, and there's still a lot of issues. He tells her that this guy's an amazing doctor. I mean, he's a rock star. Making, the metaphoric, he's got amazing ideas. He's an up-and-comer. You're going to be impressed with what he can do for you. And she has her own fantasy moment of he's a rock star. So what starts out pretty normal becomes him going like full, Axl Rose. It's interesting. Such a good show. And there's a lot of gut punch in the show too, because there's some heavy stuff. Junior, you played Gabe. Good God, man. Damn. That's an impressive. That's, it's not bad. Sorry. And apparently he has a great passion, because I was like, we're talking theater now while we're doing money and account stuff, and everybody else is like, not judging, but just kind of like, okay, this is new from both of them, And I'm like, bucket list, what's your show? And he was like, Little Shop of Horrors. I really want to play Seymour. I was like, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. And he's like, if we've got a director that's open to it, I wouldn't mind like crossing and being one of the three. I'm like, oh, the urchins, the Dadu girls. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. He's like, the harmony in that is so amazing. I'm like, you are also an Alan Menken fan, apparently. And he's like, oh my God, Alan Menken, yes. I'm like, okay. Yeah, you and I get along fine. If we're just doing like Sondheim and Alan Menken all day long, I'm in that karaoke journey. We're having fun. And he's like, yes. He's like, what's your bucket list? I'm like, realistically, I've got Dan is actually in the top 5. He was like, okay, I respect that. That's a part. And I said, honestly, I've got 2. One, the clock is kind of ticking on. The other one, I could do 10 years from now and probably get away with it. And he's like, come on, share. And I'm like, well, Little Shop is one that I'd love to do too. But I'd love to do Audrey too. I'd love to do the voice for the plant. And he was like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I'm terrified that I'd get cast as Mushnik because I'm short and stocky, and I'm afraid a director is going to be like, that's an old Jewish man right there, Which, Mushnik's still a good character, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't, if I got cast in it, I wouldn't be like, no, it's the plan to nothing. I won't do it. I won't go on. I only do Faust. I'm not going to be that guy. But, I've been watching you, Seymour. I know you're up to something. I could play it. He knows just what you've done. But, yeah, no, I was like, I want to do Sweeney Todd at some point. But I could do that, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and probably get away with it. Because he's usually, he can't be, 25 years old anyway. Because he got sent to Australia for 20 years. You know what I mean? He comes back and his daughter's about to turn 18. He got sent away for the crime of foolishness. He had this wife, you see, pretty little thing. I know, that's Mrs. Lovett. So I said the one that the big bucket list one is Jekyll and Hyde. And the look on his face was priceless, because he was just like, he's like, I could see you doing it. That is a serious part. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, you sure you know what you're getting yourself into? I'm like, man, I've wanted to do it since I saw the show in 1995. And he was like, "That's like when it started." I'm like, "Yeah, I saw the tour 3 times before it actually went to Broadway because they did it backwards. They did a national tour and then stopped on Broadway and opened there. Normally, a show will be on Broadway for 6 months a year, and then they'll start sending out caravan tours from Broadway. They'll take a few cast members from the Broadway show, replace them, and then send those people in with the caravan. First stop Miami, or whatever. And we're going to work our way up the southeast. Doing Miami, we're doing Tampa, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and we're going to go to Atlanta. David, why did I send my mother to Atlanta? You gotta love Harvey. But yeah, no, he was like, that's an intense show. I'm like, yeah, I know. But that's the big show that I will regret not doing. Honestly. Like, and there are other shows that I'd love to do. I'd love to do Les Mis. I'd love to play Javert. I don't want to direct it or have anything to do with it technically, though. And I know they rent the set. You can actually rent the base unit of the set. It terrifies me with its complexity. It really does, just because it's the Rubik's Cube from hell. I mean, the barber chair for Sweeney is already a little daunting. But could make that work. The barricade set for Les Mis. I mean, there are other shows that I wouldn't mind doing. I'd love to do The Producers. I'd love to do Young Frankenstein. Yes, I love Mel Brooks. As far as The Producers, I'd actually like to play Leo. But I could play Roger as well. Roger Elizabeth Dupree. I could. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. Yep, another gay character. I don't know. But the part's really funny. And by the way, if you're a straight guy and you find yourself singing Make It Gay while you're shopping and whatnot, people will look at you funny. Don't ask me how I know that. A friend told me. Young Frankenstein. I'd love to actually play Frankenstein, the Gene Wilder part. That would be a lot of fun. Or, ironically, hilariously, it's also the same part that, God, I cannot remember his name. But the guy who originated the part of Frankenstein on Broadway also played Roger Elizabeth Dupree, I want to say, in the film version of The Producers, the musical. It's like I'd be following his parts around. I tell you what, it would be a lot of fun. The young man that I did Rocky Horror with, who was our Brad, Peter, it would be an absolute joy to do Young Frankenstein with him as my Igor. That would be an absolute delight. Because he would eat the stage up as Igor. And the two of us play off each other really damn well. And that's just kind of my own inner fantasy thought world. That would be an absolute blast. He'd be very good. He'd be very good in that part. Just would love to do like Together Again for the first time with him. That would be a fun number. In Transylvania Mania, he would eat the stage. He would eat the stage. Yep. But yeah. See, it's not all Doctor Who with me. Um, but yeah, one of the young ladies that has helped me a lot of times at the bank was like, all these times you've come in here and I didn't know you were like a theater guy. I'm like, well, I've had to put it on hold. You know, I haven't done anything in 10 years. But when I was doing stuff, we were doing stuff. You know, we did Dr. Horrible, we did Rocky Horror, we did Rent, we did a musical that I wrote. We were doing 2 improv shows a month. I mean, you know, I was on stage performing in front of people, you know, at least 3 or 4 hours a month. You know, there were a few months here and there where it was like, you know, 20 or 30 hours on stage. Oh, and I miss it. Damn, it makes my soul happy. And I just like performing. Taking people on a story. I don't know. I mean, the applause is nice. Standing ovation is like heroin. But just the thrill of doing it, I really enjoy it. I find it very fulfilling. So it would be swell to be able to get back into it again. I'm starting to work on my voice again. Between the mold and me working on it, I think that's part of why I'm like, because yesterday blasting the stuff, you know, I was singing along with it. One of my kids came in, Legally Blonde was in, I was singing along with Blood in the Water, because Callahan would be the part I'd play if I were to do Legally Blonde. I'd want to get Callahan. Yes, he's a terrible human being, but it would be a really fun part to play. And 2 things: Blood in the Water is just such a fun little ditty, and let me tell you, Gay or European is a really well put together song, and it's funny as hell. So yeah. I'd want to. I get slapped every night, but that's okay. I'll pay that price. Not the first time I've been hit in the face. I mean, clearly, right? Come on. But yeah. Yeah, Legally Blonde would be a lot of fun to do. That's another one, though. The set, some of the costume stuff, and the casting. Dear God in heaven, the casting. You need at least 6 women that are triple threats. Elle, her 3 best friends, Paulette, and Brooke. All 6 of them need to be triple threats. Your Elle needs to be magic, like sorcery. But also your Callahan needs to be good, your Emmett needs to be good. Kyle needs to be able to do Irish dancing and look like, you know, walking porn. if your cast isn't A plus, your show's gonna suck. You need top-notch performers for that show, and they like 12 or 15 of them. A lot of people don't realize what goes into, but especially some of the women in that, you're not faking it. But your L needs to have incredible stamina and be a triple threat. Like an incredibly good triple threat. You know, Emmett doesn't really need to dance, but needs to be good on the acting and needs to have a really, really nice voice. You know, there's certain ones that you don't need to be able to do all three. Brooke, Paulette's got to do some Irish dancing, even if it's comical. Elle, and especially her 3 Greek chorus Delta Nu buddies, all triple threats. It was like Brooke's number Whip It Good, or whatever it is. Not Devo, that's different. But Whip Into Shape, I'm not sure what the name of the number is, but that's in that triple threat. Like, you need to be able to dance with a jump rope kind of while singing and belting. Check, please. Anyway, directorial rants over here, but I speak the truth. Yeah, it's a thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I know it's riveting theater talk. If you're not into it, you're like, oh my God, shut up. Just where I am today. I'm gonna do my to-do list. Gotta make that barbecue chicken when I get up. Dishes out, dishes in. Enjoy some more Adventure Blend. Adventure Blend. Having Aladdin the musical thoughts now. Adventure. If you know, you know. It's good though. I like it. 5-star, no. Solid 3.5. Yeah. Some decent beans. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it there though. Hug your parents. Hug your kids. Get your 1 brick done. Get good sleep. Eat some soup. Make it a great day.